hair, 2 black, still typing with ease. LA lanes locked, but she don't slow down. Show up every time, yeah, she runs this town. Sitting in the traffic, but she locked in check. If Sweet Pea goes live, yeah, she's right on that. From the 405 to wherever we at. Junkie pulling up like y'all good, I'm back. Different time zones, same front row seats. No matter where we are, we all meet in the free. We the California's rolling deep on 9. 4 corners, 1 crew, yeah, the vibes align. From the coast to the chat, yeah, we show up right. If you lost downstream, we gon' guide you like Californians. Yeah, we stay in the mix. 4 names, 1 flame, you can't remix this.
SD rolling with the sunset glow. West Coast haze where the good vibes flow. Little bit lifted, yeah, she stays serene. Ocean breeze mixed with the evergreen. Late to the stream, but she still gon' slide. Panel opens up, she already inside. Hold up, I'm here, yeah, she dropping bars. Calm, cool energy, no matter how far.
She got that FOMO, scrolling every stream. Little lost downstream, but she part of the team. New to the crew, but she locked in fast. Super chats flying, yeah, she built to last. Wait, where we at? But we got her back. Pointed to the right stream, never off track. Now she vibing with us, no need to roam. Anywhere we at, yes, Susie home.
Shamrock, yeah, Shamrock checking in from across the map. Different time zone, but she bridging the gap. Y'all good every time, yeah, she mean that. Heart so big, you can't teach that. Algorithm running, she keep it alive. Dropping love in the chat, keep the whole thing thrive. Quiet power, steady hand in the dark. Every stream glowing, got a Shamrock spark.
Yeah. Junkie, 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 junkie,
Susie, Shamrock, Shamrock,
junkie, 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 junkie,
Susie, Shamrock,
Where
Shamrock.
we the California, say the name twice. Show up every stream, yeah, we never think twice. From the traffic jams to the ocean tide, from the lost links to the worldwide ride. Californians, yeah, we stay in the mix. 4 names, 1 flame, can't remix this.
All right, you may proceed, Mr. Harmon.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court.
Yep.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Can you please state your name?
Gino Norris.
Mr. Norris, do you live in the city of Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
Or did you come down here to testify in this case?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a full-time job right now?
Yes.
Did you know an individual named Charles Jones?
Yes, sir.
And in 2024, June of 2024, do you remember him passing away?
Yes.
How long had you known him, Mr. Norris, at that point?
See, about 10 years.
10 years. Do you remember when you first came to know him about how old you were?
Probably like 14.
14. Was he same age as you or older than you?
He older than me.
Did you go to the same school that he went to?
No, sir.
When you met him, when you were 14, was he rapping at that time?
Yes.
And Mr. Norris, did you go to high school in Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
So I want to draw your attention, Mr. Norris, back to June of 2024, the time when Mr. Jones passed away. Do you recall traveling here to Tampa with him?
Yes.
And do you recall how you came down here, whose car it was?
His car.
His car. Was it just the two of you, or was there someone else with you?
It was me, him, and Robert.
Okay, Robert Howard.
Yes.
Do you remember who was driving on the way down?
They took turns.
Did you take turns driving?
No, sir.
So just Robert and Charles?
Yes, sir.
Now, at that time, when you would talk to Charles, how did you refer to him? What name did you refer to him by?
It was called Foolio.
You called him Foolio?
Yes.
When you all came down from Jacksonville, do you remember the purpose for coming here to Tampa?
Celebrate his birthday.
Did Mr. Jones invite you on that trip?
Yes.
When you all arrived, do you remember where you stayed?
Yeah, we had a B&B.
Airbnb?
Yes.
Do you remember where that was?
It was like St. Pete.
St. Pete?
Yeah, around that area. I think.
Okay. Would that have been a Friday night?
Yeah, I think we got here like on a Friday.
And then the following day, did you all end up going to another Airbnb?
Yes.
And was that in a different location?
Yes.
Were you aware that Mr. Jones was posting things on his Instagram account about his birthday party or about people coming to the Airbnb?
I know he was posting like promoting it.
You knew that he was promoting?
Yes.
So I want to move to the Saturday night when you're at the second Airbnb. Is Robert Howard there?
Yes.
And Charles is there?
Yes.
Were there some young ladies that came down from Jacksonville that evening or that day?
Yes.
Did you know those women?
His girlfriend came on that day and her cousin, but all the other people, I ain't really know them.
Okay. So Charles Jones' girlfriend, what name did you know her by?
Armani.
Armani? Did you ever hear anyone call her Monty?
Yes.
And was there some type of a celebration or a party that night at the second Airbnb that Saturday night?
Yes.
And you said there was people showing up that you didn't know?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember approximately how long that party lasted?
No, sir. I can't remember exactly how long it was.
At some point, did the party end?
Yeah, because we were finna get ready to leave the club, and the B&B lady basically came like, they were finna kick us out.
All right, you all were getting ready to leave
Yes.
to go anyways, but then the lady who owns the Airbnb kicked you out?
Yeah, she sent a call, like, sent the police to send out, like, it was a vital sign.
So the police came?
Yes.
Did you have to pack up a lot of stuff to take with you when you left?
Yeah, we had to get everybody's stuff out of B&B because they had already left.
When you left the Airbnb that night, did you travel in Charles Jones' vehicle?
Yeah.
And that's the same vehicle you came down here from Jacksonville in?
Yes.
And was that a Dodge Charger?
Yes.
So you leave the Airbnb. Where do you all go?
What a club called? I think it was called Teaser or something like that.
Okay. And that was a club you went to
Yes.
here in Tampa?
I think that's what it was called. Yes.
Teasers?
Yes.
When you were driving from the Airbnb to the Teasers, other than you and Charles Jones, who else was in the car during that trip?
This when Zay was in the car with us.
Who was?
Zay.
Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
Is that someone you know?
Yes.
Do you remember who was driving?
Zay was driving.
Xavier was driving?
Yes.
Do you remember where Charles Jones was sitting?
He was in the passenger seat.
Front passenger?
Yes.
When you all arrived at Teasers, were there already people there from the Airbnb or people from the party there?
No, like all of us like drove around at the same time, so we all met the.
Okay. When you all got there and met up, did you end up going inside of the club?
Yes.
And did Mr. Jones, did he make some kind of an appearance there at the club?
What you mean by appearance?
Well, did he perform or did he do some kind of a show or?
No.
Okay. Did he meet with people there?
Yeah, some other people he knew was there.
Okay. But you were aware that he had advertised that he on his Instagram that he was going to be there?
Yes.
And that's what I meant by an appearance, that he was going to be appearing there. Do you remember approximately how long you were there?
Probably like an hour or two.
Okay. During the time you were there, well, let me ask, you and Charles Jones are inside the club?
Yes.
Was Robert Howard inside the club?
Yes.
Was Armani and her cousin inside the club?
Yes, all of us inside the club.
You all were. Xavier?
Yes.
Did you know Taifa McCrae?
Yes, that's my cousin.
Oh, you don't know, you know him as your cousin?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know the young lady that was accompanying him that evening?
I know of her, but I don't really know her.
Did you know another, well, let me move on. So you said you were there for a while, almost an hour or more than an hour?
Yes.
During the time you were there, Mr. Norris, did any issues or problems with anyone?
No, sir.
Any fights, anything like that?
No, sir.
Anyone threatening any of you?
No, sir.
Okay. And at some point you all leave?
Yes.
And when you leave, do you again travel in the Dodge Charger or in some other vehicle?
Same car, the Dodge Charger.
And who's driving this time?
Zay was still driving.
And was Charles Jones in the car?
Yeah, he was still in the passenger seat.
So when you leave Teasers, and did the other folks leave? Taifa and Armani and her cousin?
Yeah, we all went to the next club.
Went to the next club. Okay. Did you know why you were going to the next club? Just
That club, it was like boring, so we just went somewhere else.
okay. Still celebrating his birthday?
Yes.
Do you happen to know how old he was turning?
26.
26? When you got to the second club, did you all, after arriving there at some point, go inside?
Yes.
Do you remember if that required you all to go up any stairs or steps?
Yes.
Do you remember if Mr. Jones was doing anything with his phone, if he was live streaming or doing anything like that?
Yeah, he was recording a video.
He was recording a video. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
You all go into that club. What do you all do in that club?
We just party.
Just hung out?
Yes.
How long do you remember how long you were at that club?
We'll probably end up at like about 2 hours.
Till about 12?
I said about 2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours. I'm sorry. At some point, do you leave?
Yes.
Do you know where you all went? Do you remember where you went?
Yeah, we went to the hotel.
Okay, so at that point, you all were just going to call it a night?
Yeah.
So when you left there, what car did you drive in or what car were you in?
Same Dodge Charger.
Do you remember who was driving?
Zay was driving.
So Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
And was Charles Jones in the car?
Still in the passenger seat.
So would that be the front passenger seat?
Yes.
Where were you sitting in the car?
I was in the back seat.
Back seat. Okay. And you said you all went to the hotel.
Yes.
When you arrived at the hotel, do you remember pulling up in front of the entrance to the hotel?
Yes.
At some point during this time period, were you getting groggy or sleepy?
Yes.
And did you fall asleep at some point?
I fell asleep in the bed.
So did you fall asleep on the way there or right after getting there or when?
Right after getting there.
Do you remember if Charles Jones went into the hotel?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, went in. Then they saying like we couldn't get a room. And we came back in the car and they were looking for hotels and I fall asleep.
Were they looking for hotels on their phones?
Yes,
And was Mr. Jones in the front passenger seat again?
yes.
Between the time that you got to Teasers and up to this point, did you have any reason to believe anyone was following you
No, sir.
or anyone was surveilling or watching you?
No, sir.
Do you remember at some point waking up or being woke up?
After the shooting is when I woke up.
Okay. Do you remember or did you ever figure out what woke you up? Was it movement or noise?
The car had hit something and they had woke me up.
When you woke up, still in the back seat,
Yes.
what did you see when you woke up? What did you observe?
First thing I saw was Foolio laid up. And then I looked up, saw the holes in the window. I saw Jose covered in blood.
Did you at some point realize that you had been injured?
No, I didn't really realize that till we got in the hotel.
Okay. Did you realize when you woke up that you were no longer sitting in front of the hotel?
Yeah.
After you woke up and you see Mr. Jones and, well, let me ask you, is Mr. Jones, does he appear to you, what shape or condition does he appear to be in?
Like he gone.
He's gone? Okay. And when you saw Xavier with blood on him and you saw the window, the condition of the window, did you put all that together?
Yeah, at first I thought we got in a car accident until I saw that.
You thought you got into a car accident?
Yeah, before I looked up, it saw like the bullet holes in the blood. I thought it was that.
When you saw that, the bullet holes and the blood and the condition of your friend, what did you think at that point about your own safety, if anything?
I don't know, just trying to stay alive.
Just trying to stay alive?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you and Xavier Edwards leave the vehicle?
Yes.
Was Mr. Edwards saying anything to you?
It was just telling me to get out and come to the hotel.
He was telling you to get out of the car?
Yeah.
At that point, having seen the bullet holes through the windshield, did you have any idea where the people that had done that, where they were?
No, that's why we had Emma getting out of the car.
And you said you went into a hotel.
Yes.
Did you have to walk to the hotel or run there?
We had ran.
And did you go into the main entrance of the hotel?
Yes.
When you got into the hotel, what did you do?
We was trying to get help.
Did you find any employees when you went into the lobby?
Oh, sir.
Were you saying anything to try to get help?
We was screaming out for help.
Just screaming for help?
Yeah.
Did anyone respond or help?
No, sir.
Once you were in the lobby, where did you go?
Like knocking doors, trying to ask for help, and we ended up going to like the third floor because we ain't know people still there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said we had ended up getting on the elevator to go to the third floor because I don't know if they would have followed us there or not, so we just on the third floor.
Okay. Before you get on the elevators, do you walk by any doors or any rooms in the hotel?
Yes,
Do you try to knock or get into those rooms?
yes. We tried to knock on doors, I asked for help.
But nobody responded.
Nobody responded.
So you and Xavier go up an elevator.
Yes, sir.
At that point, what kind of condition is Xavier in?
He's bleeding real bad, but he ended up falling against the wall. Like he felt he finna die. He kept begging me not to let him die.
He was begging you not to let him die?
Yeah.
You said that you realized when you got into the hotel that you had been shot. When did you come to that realization? Was it in the lobby or once you were on the elevator?
When we got to the third floor, when he fell against the wall, he told me to check his head and make sure he didn't get hit in his head because he was bleeding a lot from his head. And when I looked down, I saw a hole in my arm.
Okay. But, okay, we back up. So Mr. Edwards is asking you to check his head, you said?
Yes,
Because he's bleeding from his head.
yes,
And you ended up seeing that you had been shot.
yes.
Where were you shot?
My right arm,
Your right arm? What part of your right arm?
not the up.
The upper part?
Yes,
Did you and Mr. Edwards end up on the floor at some point? Or did you sit down or lay down?
he, when he fell against the wall, he was like on the floor, but I ain't really get on the floor till the police came.
What caused you to get on the floor?
The police made us get on the floor.
They made you get on the floor?
Yes,
Your Honor, I'm going to tender States Exhibit 91 and Exhibit 25A through D. That's 25 Alpha through Delta, and States Exhibit 91. Tendered for admission. 91 is in, counsel? Okay, thank you.
So to 25A through D, any objection? Mr. Gonzalez,
No objection.
Mr. Zanardi,
No objection.
Mr. Wise, Mr. Petridis. Okay, admitted.
Publishing States 91. Mr. Norris, I just want you to take a look at this. Does that photograph depict?
See, that's what I'm saying. We saw that photograph yesterday and clear as day in the opening statement. So
Okay, now,
I don't know why we can't see it now. Like they already showed us that.
is that blood on his face? I know that's not very good. Let me try to do something here. See if that helps. No. Can you see blood on his face?
yes,
Okay. And your shirt was an all white shirt,
yes,
but the red now on the shoulder, is that blood?
yes.
Did the police contact Tampa Fire Rescue or some
Yes,
EMT or paramedic that came to assist you?
yes,
And were you and Mr. Edwards both taken out of the hotel on gurneys?
yes,
Were you taken to a local hospital here in Tampa?
yes.
Do you remember law enforcement, police officers coming there to talk to you?
Yes,
It'll probably states 25A. Is that you, Mr. Norris?
yes, sir.
Okay. $25B. Do you recall, did they give you pain medication?
Yes, sir.
$25C is in Charlie. Let me orient it this way. Is that you laying in a hospital bed or in the emergency room?
Yes,
25 D is in Delta. And a close-up of the wound to your arm. Let me ask you, how long were you in the hospital, Mr. Norris?
I ain't leave till about 11 because I had to wait for my parents, wait for my dad to come up to pick me up.
Okay. Was that the next day? Or how many days were you there in the hospital?
I got out a couple hours after.
A couple hours?
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned your father. Does he live in Jacksonville?
Yes.
So he traveled here from Jacksonville to come help you?
Yes.
And when he got you out of the hospital, did you all go back to Jacksonville that day?
Yes.
So I want to go back to the Airbnb and the party. So the beginning of the birthday party that night before you go to the clubs. While at the Airbnb, did you drink any alcohol?
I took one shot.
One shot?
Yes.
And then after getting to Teasers, did you have anything to drink at Teasers?
No, I wasn't a drinker then. That's like the only time I drunk.
I'm sorry?
So I wasn't a drinker then. That one shot, like the only shot I had took.
Okay. That's the only alcohol you had that night?
Yes.
Being that you were asleep during the shooting itself, did you ever see the people who were doing the shooting?
No, sir.
You got anything else? Okay. I'll tender the witness, Sean. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I know my guy, he's not gonna let a moment pass where he can question one of them. He is working hard for thing too. Working hard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Norris.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Norris, I think you told us that you knew Charles Jones, Foolio, since for about 10 years, correct?
Yes.
And you knew him very well.
Yes.
You saw him all the time. You spoke to him pretty much daily, correct?
Yes.
And you also know Tata because he's your cousin, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That'd be Tapia McCray.
Yes.
Okay. And you know Kenny Capps as well, correct?
Yes.
And you know,
Your Honor, I just asked the counsel to identify who that is he's speaking about.
Yeah, is Kenny Capps a nickname or is that the full name or?
no, Judge, that would be
That's Robert.
I'm sorry,
Robert.
Robert Howard, correct?
He knows him as Kenny Capps?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
And what about Xavier Edwards, 55? You know 55?
Yes.
Do you also know him in other circles as Omerta?
That's his route name. Yes.
You're aware that Mr. Jones and the other gentleman that I named, they are part of 6 Block, correct?
It's a part of the city. Say it again.
6 Block. 6 Block is a gang.
I
Are
don't
you
know
aware
if
of
it's a
that?
gang. Not of the game. No.
Okay, so you're not aware of 6 Block.
I don't say in the songs not, but I don't know about it being a game.
And I'm sorry, sir, I didn't understand your question, if you don't mind.
I say I heard in songs, but I don't know that it's like a game. No, I don't know that it's a game.
So you're telling me you only heard it in a song.
I'm saying I hear the songs, but I'm saying I don't know that it's a game. That's what I'm saying.
They killed
Okay.
me now. He don't want
What
to
is it
know
you
his
know it
name.
as?
I'm saying that what they were saying in the songs and stuff.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm just a little confused. You knew it because you heard it in songs, but you didn't know it as a gang?
Yes.
Is that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes.
Okay. And did you listen to Charles Jones, Julio Foolio's music?
Yes.
Okay. Did you listen to other drill rappers' music?
Yes.
There are lots of drill rappers.
Objection, Your Honor, outside the scope.
I'll overrule at this point, but go ahead.
There are a number of different drill rappers, correct?
Yes.
And they all pretty much sing about the same thing, correct?
Yes.
When you came to Tampa, Mr. Norris, did you expect that there was going to be some kind of trouble?
No, we came here for celebrate his birthday.
How about Mr. Jones, Julio Foolio, or Mr. Howard, Mr. McCrae, Mr. Edwards? Strike that. Strike it. Were you aware before you went to Tampa that there was going to be trouble?
No.
You brought your gun with you, did you not?
Yes.
And you had it in the car, correct?
I was in my cousin's car.
Your cousin meaning Tata, Mr. McCrae.
Yes.
And there were times when you were in Tampa that you were in that car at certain times, correct?
No, I didn't ride one cousin.
I don't have anything further. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Sonardi?
Timmy may have some questions.
Okay, Ms. Timmy?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so I just have a few questions for you. Would you agree with me that you don't know or you don't have any idea who was responsible for killing Charles Jones?
Oh man, I don't know.
Okay. And Charles Jones was actually your cousin, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you were very close with him?
Yes, ma'am.
And you would also agree with me, there's a lot of different groups and a lot of different people that did not like Charles Jones, your cousin.
Objection, outside the scope, Your Honor.
Overruled. I'll give you a little bit of latitude on this. A little bit.
Correct?
Yes, a lot of people didn't like him.
And the reason why a lot of people didn't like him was because of his music, right?
Objection, speculation.
If he knows, if you know the answer, you can answer.
I guess so.
And it's not necessarily his music, but it's the content of his music, right?
Objection, speculation.
Answer, Mr. Norris, if you know.
I guess
You don't know?
can
I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
you repeat the question again?
A lot of people don't like or didn't like your cousin Charles Jones because of his music, the content of his music,
Yeah, you could say that.
correct?
Yes, you could say that.
Because he says a lot of stuff in his music that people don't like, right?
Okay, and listen, I'm not gonna have him guess about people. So he's already indicated to you regarding people generally responding to Mr. Jones and his music, but I'm not gonna have him keep guessing what.
That was gonna be my
People.
last question, Judge.
Okay, very good.
So am I allowed to?
Yeah, you can ask it, then we need to move to the next topic.
There's a lot of people that didn't like Charles Jones because of the stuff that he would say in his music, right?
Yeah.
Now, you don't know who Davion Murphy is, do you?
No, ma'am.
And you don't know who Rashad Murphy is, do you?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wise, any questions?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Morris, you don't know Sean Gathright, correct?
No.
In fact, before he was arrested in connection with this case, you'd never even heard that name, right?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and Mr. Petrides?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You did know Isaiah Chance, correct?
Yeah, I talked to him on social media. Other than that, no.
Did you ever see him? You did see him out at a club though, correct? Once?
Yeah, I saw him in the club before.
Is that at Club Elevation?
Yes.
Where did you see him out in the parking lot?
Yeah, when we leaving the club.
Were a lot of people out in the parking lot at that time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is that a common practice in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know someone nicknamed Mizzle, possibly Jaquez Taylor?
Yes.
Was he with you in Tampa during this incident?
Yes.
Was he in the clubs with you all in Tampa?
Yes.
Are you aware of Isaiah Chance's music? Is that something you listen to?
No.
Were you aware of it?
I don't saw it pop up with my timeline before, but I never really listened to it. I saw it pop up on my timeline before, but I never really listened to it.
And the Home 2 Suites, the hotel, that was not a pre-planned destination that night, correct? That was a last-minute decision, correct?
Oh, yeah. We ended up trying to find that when we got the last club.
So you didn't start looking for that hotel until you're at the last club?
Yes.
And you didn't see anything before or after the shooting of anybody else, correct?
Say it again?
You didn't see anyone suspicious before or after the shooting?
Oh, no, sir.
That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Sir, may I ask one follow-up question?
yes, yes.
Mr. Norris, you don't know Rashad Murphy, do you?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, redirect.
Mr. Norris, you've known Charles Jones, you said, since you were 14.
Yeah, about 14 years.
So you were asked if you were his cousin. Are you his blood cousin, or is that just something you all refer to each other as cousins?
Yeah, I refer to his cousin.
You were first cousin?
It's not referred to each other as cousins.
You refer to each other as cousins. Okay. Let me ask you about the handgun. Was it a handgun, a pistol that you brought with you
Yeah.
here to Tampa when you all came down?
Yeah.
First of all, do you legally possess that, legally own it?
Yes.
And did your cousin Tafa, did he bring that down or did you bring it down?
It was my gun was in his car.
It was in his car, right?
Yes.
All right. So this isn't a gun that you were carrying on your person in any of these clubs or anything like that?
No.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Okay, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Norris. You're free to go. All right, state, who's your next witness?
Camila Bentley. Camila Bentley.
All right, and this is going to be another witness who has requested that her identity not be broadcast.
Oh, don't nobody want to be shown. Boo hoo, you guys. You know, the sad part about it is that once you say their name and we hear their name, you can look it up and you probably gonna find them. I digress in that regards, but and all this mumbling, open your damn mouth. Oh goodness. Now she about to come up here, not be able to talk and be the loudest one in the club. I can't deal. Like the judge just say, talk to me like you talk in the club. Won't need no mic, won't need nothing. That's all the judge got to do is say, talk to me like we in the club, like you clubbing. Then we can hear something come out of their mouths. But until then, I guess we left with this old mumble, I can't open my mouth. Like you're not being seen, so just open up your mouth. And then the first meal that's sitting up there mumbling, and the judge be like, I need you to open up your mouth wider. They're going to take offense to it. Pause. I'll do it for you guys. Pause.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this house will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you
Okay, very good. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Please state your full name for the record.
Camila Bentley
Miss Bentley, where did you grow up?
in St. Augustine.
Did you also hang out in Jacksonville at times?
Yes.
Did you have family and friends that lived in Jacksonville?
Yes.
Now I want to talk to you about June of 2024. Back then, did you have a friend by the name of Aliyah Albritton?
Yes.
How long had you known Aliyah Albritton?
For a while.
Did you plan to do a girls' trip with her for the weekend of June 21st of 2024?
Yes.
Who else was going to be involved in this girls' weekend?
It was just me, Aliyah, and it was supposed to be another one of our friends
And where were you supposed to go for this weekend trip?
here in Tampa.
And did you come to Tampa on that Friday, June 21st of 2024?
Yes.
Where were you going to stay?
At my friend's house.
Did you go there on that day?
I did.
At some point, did you meet up with Aliyah Albritton?
I did.
Tell us how that happened.
Well, we came together.
And where did she live in Jacksonville at the time?
Yes.
And where were you living at that time?
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine. And how was it that you came together?
We just been friends for a while. We knew each other from social media and through other people.
I meant together to Tampa. Did she
Together to
come?
Tampa.
Yes. Did she come pick you up?
Yes.
Okay. And in whose vehicle did she come pick you up?
In Tata's car.
And you said Tata, and I know that you know him as a nickname. Is that Tafa McCray?
Yes.
I'm going to show you. Remember, this time we put into evidence states exhibit 27.
Okay. You're moving it in? Or-
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise?
No objection.
Mr. Petratus? Okay, admitted.
Ms. Bentley, I'm showing you states exhibit 27. Do you recognize him?
Yes.
And who's that?
Taifa.
Taifa. And he's the person you know known as Tata, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you know Taifa McCray?
Through Aliyah.
Through Aliyah? He was friends with her? And and other than knowing him through Aliyah Albritton, had you met him before?
No.
And was he driving a car?
Yes.
What type of car was it?
A Nissan Altima.
What color?
Black.
So they came and picked you up in St. Augustine,
Yes.
and you guys came down to Tampa.
Yes.
Was there an Airbnb that they were staying at?
Yes.
Was there a celebration or a party that was going on?
Yes.
Do you remember where the Airbnb was located?
Not really, because there are multiple.
There were multiple Airbnbs, is that correct?
Yes,
There was a different one Friday night as opposed to Saturday night.
yes,
So going to Friday night, did you go to the Airbnb Friday night?
I was there.
How many people were at the Airbnb?
Just me and Aliyah and the girls and the guys that were there.
Were one of those guys Charles Jones?
Yes.
Had you known of Charles Jones before that trip?
Known him? No.
Did you know of him?
Yes.
And how did you know of him?
He's a rapper in Jacksonville.
And you, from being in Jacksonville with family and friends, you were aware of Charles Jones as the rapper Foolio, is that correct?
Yes.
Had you listened to his music before?
No.
Had you, you said that you didn't know him, you just knew of him, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you went to this Airbnb Friday, you were introduced to him, is that correct?
Yes.
And you said there were some other girls there? And were there some other men there as well that you did not know?
It was just me and Aliyah and one of our friends and just the guys that were there.
Was there a party when you moved to the second Airbnb? Did you go to that Airbnb as well?
I was there.
Did you have bags with you?
Yes.
And at some point, did you go into a room so that you could get ready for the night?
Yes.
Was there a party that was going on at the Airbnb that you had moved to with Charles Jones on Saturday, June 22nd of 2024?
Yes.
And in that party, can you tell us approximately how many people were at that party?
I don't know. I wasn't a part of it.
You kind of kept to yourself that night,
Yes.
but there were quite a few more people there than who was at the original Airbnb on Friday night. Is that correct?
Yes.
At either one of the Airbnbs, were there any issues, any sort of fights or any trouble at the Airbnb from the people that you were there with or that Charles Jones was there with?
No.
Did something happen at the Airbnb on Saturday night with law enforcement?
I just remember we all left. I guess because there was a lot of people there. It's an Airbnb.
Eventually, you had to leave the Airbnb, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have to get your bags and take it with you before leaving that Airbnb?
I actually didn't get a chance to get my bags.
Do you think somebody else was responsible and was able to get your stuff for you?
Yes.
And did that end up in one of those three vehicles that was with Mr. Jones?
Yes.
When you were at that Airbnb, was Aliyah Albritton there as well?
Yes.
And what about Tafa McCrae?
Yes.
Did you know the names of any of the other guys that were with Charles Jones?
No.
Had you met them before?
No.
Had you ever hung out with them previously?
No.
So you were just there because of your friendship with Aliyah Albritton, is that correct?
Yes.
Some point during that day on Saturday, did you go to the store and run an errand for Mr. Jones?
Yes.
What did you do?
We went to Walmart to go buy a speaker for the party.
Did he ask you to do that?
Yes.
Did he provide you with funds to do that?
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And other than that interaction with Mr. Jones, did you have any other interaction with him?
Not really. No.
Do you know approximately what time it was, or were you keeping track of time that night, Saturday, June 22nd of 2024?
No.
At some point you said that you had to leave the Airbnb, is that correct?
Yes.
Who did you leave the Airbnb with?
The people I came with, Aliyah and Tyfe.
Aliyah Albritton and Tafa McCrae, is that correct?
Yes.
And whose vehicle?
Tyfa's.
Where did you all go?
We went to. I think we went to the first club.
The first club?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a first story club, correct? That wasn't there wasn't a building with 2 stories.
I think so. It's hard to remember. Sorry.
And how long were you at that club?
I don't know. I couldn't keep track of time.
Were there
Wasn't
others?
around.
That's okay. Were there other members that came from the Airbnb with Charles Jones to that club with him, as well as you and your friends?
I guess so. I'm just there. I was just there.
I understand. And at some point, do you go to another club?
Yes.
And when you go to another club, are you in the same vehicle with the same people?
Yes.
Who is driving?
Taifa.
Taifa McCrae?
Yes.
I'm going to introduce into evidence Judge State's Exhibit 29A through R.
Any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
Briefly, Judge. No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Petridis? Admitted.
Ms. Albert, I'm sorry, Ms. Bentley, I'm going to ask you to look at the screen and I'm going to show you 29A. Are you familiar with that black Nissan?
Yes.
And is that the vehicle that you described that you got picked up in that belongs to Taifa McCrae?
Yes.
And you said that he was driving, is that correct?
Yes.
Where were you seated?
At first, I was behind the passenger seat of the car.
Okay. And where was Aliyah Albritton?
In the passenger seat of the car.
Passenger seat of the car, front or back?
Front.
Right. And were you in the back?
Yes.
And so you went to the second club, is that correct?
Yes.
And you said you don't know how long you were there.
No,
Was Charles Jones at that club?
Yes.
And at some point, you left that club, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you leave with the same people
Yes.
and in the same vehicle?
Yes.
Where did you go after you left the second club?
I think that's when we went to the hotel, maybe.
Okay, that's what I am asking you about. Who went to the hotel?
It was me, Aliyah, Taifa, and everybody who was with Mr. Jones.
And you were in the same car with Taifa McCrae in the black Nissan?
Yes.
Was Mr. McCrae, was he driving that vehicle?
Yes.
And were you in the same position that you were previously when you went from one club to the second club?
Yes.
So you were in the back seat, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Jones, he was in another vehicle?
Yes.
And in it, there were others with him in that vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you know, or were you familiar, or did you know his girlfriend at that time?
No.
Did you know that there was another car that went to the hotel along with you, your car, Mr. McCrae's car, I mean, and Charles Jones?
I just remember it being like the car that we were in and two other cars, which was Charles Jones and whoever it was.
That's what I'm asking. There was
Yes.
one other vehicle besides the car you were in and Charles Jones.
Yes.
So 3 cars total, is that correct? Okay. And what happened when you got to the hotel?
I guess they were there trying to get a room because it was late at night and everybody was really tired and it was too late to get on the road. I really don't know what happened from there. All I know is I sat in the car and I almost lost my leg.
I'm going to go back just a little bit. At some point, does Aliyah Albritton, your friend, and Taifa McCrae leave the vehicle?
Yes.
Why do they leave the vehicle?
Aliyah needed to use the restroom.
And at that point, are all the cars in front of the hotel
Yes.
just sitting there waiting for a room? Is that correct?
Yes.
So Aliyah Albritton, your friend, and Taifa McCrae get out and go to use the restroom. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you do at that point?
I took initiative and got in the front seat of the car.
So now you're sitting in the front seat.
Yes.
And what happens when you're in the front seat of the vehicle?
I just remember looking down at my phone. I looked out the window. I was on my phone for a second. And when I looked back up, that's when I just started seeing bullets flying past my face. And that's when everybody started shooting and all that.
So you were hearing shots, is that correct? Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it. I didn't see anything though.
Okay, that's what I'm going to ask you. When you heard it, what did you do?
I immediately, I looked for the keys in the car and I didn't see anything.
When you say you didn't see anything, did you see any of the shooters?
No,
Did you know where the gunfire was coming from?
no.
And what did you yourself do at that moment?
I couldn't find the keys and I prayed until I could find the keys and the car cut on. I still didn't see any keys to that very day.
But the car was able to start?
The car was able to start and I tried to make it out as soon as I could to save myself.
And so you left, is that correct?
I did.
What happened as you were leaving the parking lot?
It was just a lot of commotion going on. It was a lot of chaos. It was very chaotic. I just remember leaving the hotel. I remember stopping at a light, and that's when I realized, like, that's when I got shot. And, you know, you see a lot of gruesome things. And that's when I tried to just calm down and realize my adrenaline was up there. And I had to realize, like, just calm down. Like, I called Aliyah, told her, hey, I just got shot and I need you to take me to the hospital.
And were you able to get a hold of her on the phone?
I did.
What did you do after you got a hold of Aliyah Albritton on the phone?
After I got a hold of her, I basically turned around. I went back to the hotel just to make sure that they were okay. And I just looked out just to make sure nobody else was there. So it was clear for me to go and make sure that we were okay for them to get me to the hospital.
When you say they, who are you referring to?
Taif and Aliyah, just making sure that they were okay.
When you got back to the hotel, did they get back into his vehicle?
Yes.
And what happened?
We went to the hospital.
When you got to the hospital, what were you treated for?
Gunshot wound.
Where was the gunshot wound?
I got grazed and a gunshot wound in my right arm.
Were they able to remove all of the bullet?
I don't have any bullets removed out of my arm.
They're still there, is that correct?
Yes.
Were your parents also in Tampa that weekend?
Yes.
At some point, did you get a hold of your parents to come pick you up?
I did.
And did they eventually come to the hospital?
They did.
How long would you say you were at that hospital?
I was there for a couple of hours. They wouldn't let me see my parents for a long time. So we were there for a while.
At some point, did an officer from the Tampa Police Department come and meet with you?
I remember a police officer did come in, gave recognition, but I don't remember what he asked me. I was worried about myself more than worrying about talking to others. And
were you upset at that point?
Yes.
Did you want to talk to law
I
enforcement?
didn't want to talk to anyone at all, but my family.
You wanted to see your parents, is that correct? I'm going to introduce into evidence State's Exhibit 28.
Okay, any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petridis? Okay, admitted.
Ms. Bentley, State's Exhibit 28. Is that a picture of you in the hospital?
Yes.
And can you tell us which arm was shot?
My right arm.
And you said your parents did come and retrieve you from the hospital, is that correct?
Yes.
Who was at the hospital with you when you were at that hospital?
Well, at first it was just me and Taifa in there first.
You said Taifa
And then
McRae,
my
is that
parents
correct?
came. Yes.
Do you know what happened to Aliyah Albritton in the vehicle?
No.
Were you wondering where Aliyah Albritton was at that point?
I was wondering where she was, just to make sure she was okay, but I don't know.
show you States Exhibit 29A again. The black Nissan Altima that belonged to Typha McRae. Do you see this damage here to the front of the vehicle on the right-hand side of the picture?
Yes,
Which would be the left-hand side of the driver's side of the vehicle.
yes,
Was that damage there prior to the shooting that occurred at the hotel?
no,
Also going to show you States Exhibit 29B, the driver's side. Do you see the damage and the paint transfer here?
yes,
And again, was that damage there before the shooting that occurred at the hotel? How did that occur?
I'm assuming from all the chaos.
All the chaos. Then I'm going to show you States Exhibit 29C, the back of the black Nissan Altima. Do you see these two bullet holes on the back rear shield window?
Yes,
Were those there prior to the shooting?
no,
And Ms. Bentley, you are not a part of any gang called Six Block, is that correct?
no,
Not a part of any ATK
no,
or 1200?
No.
You are familiar with the rivalry between Six Block and ATK, is that correct?
I don't know anything about none of that.
Do you know about it just from the music that you listen to in Jacksonville?
Yes,
But you yourself have never been involved in any of that, is that correct?
yes,
And other than knowing Aliyah Albritton is the only reason you were at that hotel in front of the Home to Suites when that shooting occurred, is that correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
The only reason that you were with that group and at that hotel is because of Aliyah Albritton, is that correct?
Yes,
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
All right, this time we pass the, oh, I actually do. I have one more thing.
Okay.
We're gonna publish 26B.
We don't have it, the clerk doesn't have a 26B that's been admitted.
22B6, I apologize. I'm gonna stop the video right there. You see on the screen, can you tell us the vehicle where the gentleman in the blue shirt and the lady in the pink outfit? Do you know who those individuals are?
yes,
And is this the black Nissan that you have been testifying to that you were in and that you were in the back seat?
yes,
And is this what is occurring when you said they went to the restroom?
yes,
And did you see a hand come out and shut that front driver's side door? Back it up just a little bit. Did you see that?
yes,
Okay, and who's that?
me,
And you are now, where are you now this time?
I'm in the passenger's, well, in the driver's seat of the car.
She answered.
I'm just waiting to, for it to go forward before I asked another question. Is that you then driving?
Yes.
And do you see the other car that goes into the driver's side door?
Yes.
Is that when the damage to that side of the driver's side panel of the door happened?
Yes.
Your Honor, this time we pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise.
Where my lip readers at? Come on, y'all, read these lips of Mr. Chance.
Bentley, you did not know anyone named Sean Gabbor, correct?
I know who that is.
Right, and you never even had heard that name until you heard he was arrested in connection with this, correct?
Yes.
And you knew, as we've heard this afternoon, you knew a lot of the people who were down here in Tampa, right?
No.
Well, we heard about the people you did know. You definitely knew a handful of people at least who were there that night, right?
No.
Well, specifically,
Besides who I came with.
okay. That night, you didn't hear anyone who was in Tampa who went by the name Fat Boy, right?
No.
And you don't know anyone who goes by the name Fat Boy,
No.
right? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Petridis?
Just briefly, ma'am, just so I'm clear, when you were in the backseat, when they pulled up to the hotel and they got out to go to the bathroom, did they ask you to go to the bathroom too?
I don't remember.
Okay. And did Miss Albritton ask you to get in the front seat, or is that just something you did?
That's something that I did.
She did not ask you.
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, redirect?
No redirect, Judge.
Okay, this one is be excused.
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. And also remember to state, return the evidence to the clerk. All right, who's your next witness?
Judge, the state is calling Audra Agramante.
Okay. All right, and this is, I believe, another witness who does not want their identity broadcast, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good.
Turn this back to the elbow.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your full name for the record.
Audra Agramante.
Ms. Agramante, back in June of 2024, did you live in Tampa?
No.
What city did you live in?
Lake Worth?
Were you visiting Tampa June 22nd of 2024, going into the early morning hours of June 23rd of 2024?
Yes.
Why were you here in Tampa?
We were moving my daughter into the dorms at University of South Florida for her first semester of college. And with myself was my husband, Nestor Agramante, my daughter, Alyssa Agramante, and her boyfriend, Braden Smith.
Where were you staying at during the time in Tampa?
Home 2 Suites across from campus.
Is that the one located on McKinley Drive?
Yes, I believe so.
And you said across the campus from the University of South Florida?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you about the early mornings of June of 2024, June 23rd of 2024. Do you remember what hotel room you were staying in?
Yes, it was on the second floor, and I believe it was room 230.
And who was staying in that room with you?
It was myself, Nestor, and Braden.
Did anything unusual happen in the early morning hours?
Yes.
Tell us what happened.
Sorry, it was a really scary night. We were sound asleep around 4:30 in the morning. I heard popping noises. By the time I realized what it was, thinking it was maybe gunshots, Braden, who was in the bed on the other side of us, pulled me down to the ground and shielded me. Right at the same time, my husband went and looked out the window, saw there was a bullet that hit the window. So he yelled for us to get down. And of course, we were already down at that point.
Was your daughter at the dorm rooms at that point?
Yes, she was.
After that happened, did you try to get information and make some phone calls?
Yes. We called 911. We called the hotel lobby and USF campus police because I was really worried about my daughter.
At some point, did law enforcement respond to your room to take photographs and collect evidence?
Yes, they did.
I'm going to show you what's already been introduced into evidence. States Exhibit 19A. Is this the door or photograph of the door? And I'm going to blow it up for you so you can see it because I know the number is small. Is that the door of the room that you stayed in?
Yes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 19B. Is this a picture looking in at the room that you were in?
Yes.
And you said that there were two beds, is that correct?
Yes.
Which one were you and your husband in? And let me show you 19C.
So we were in the bed that was closest to the window.
And then Braden, and what was Miss Braden's last name?
Smith.
So Mr. Smith was in the other bed, is that correct?
Yes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 69. What's that a photograph of?
That was the bullet that hit our window. And then, I don't know if you can see it there, but there was some like bullet fragments on top of the AC unit.
I'll show you 19F. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
And then 19G, is that a close-up of what you found on the AC unit after the shooting?
Yes, it was.
Did you and your husband also rent a rental vehicle to help move your daughter into her dorm room?
Yes, we did. It was a minivan.
And what color was the minivan?
I think it was tan color.
When you and your husband were going to leave, was there damage that was seen to the minivan?
Yes.
And was that also reported to law enforcement?
Yes.
I'm going to show you again what's already been introduced into evidence. States Exhibit 16A. Is that a photo of the minivan that you and your husband had rented?
Yes.
And I'm going to show you 16C. Is that the license plate in the rear of the vehicle?
Yes.
And was there damage to that license plate?
Yeah, right on the queue. That's where there was a bullet that went through.
I'm going to show you 16D. Zoom it. Hold on a second. Let me zoom it a little bit. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
And did the bullet actually penetrate into the interior of the vehicle?
Yes, it did.
And was there damage to the interior of the vehicle?
Yes.
And at some point, did crime scene investigators from the Tampa Police Department, did they respond to document and photograph all of the damage, the exterior as well as the interior of that vehicle?
Yes, they did.
Your Honor, at this time, we pass the witness.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Gonzalez?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise?
No questions.
Mr. Petridis? All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, who's your next witness?
Officer Craig Douglas.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
As soon as you get to your seat.
Alders and Audra.
Okay, very good. Okay, everyone, please be seated. All right, members of the jury, Spanish may be used during this trial. The evidence you are to consider is only that provided through the official court interpreters. Although some of you may know Spanish, it is important that all jurors consider the same evidence. Therefore, you must accept the English interpretation. You must disregard any different meaning. If, however, during the testimony there is a question as to the accuracy of the English interpretation, you should bring this matter to my attention immediately by raising your hand. You should not ask your question or make any comment about the interpretation in the presence of the other jurors, or otherwise share your question or concern with any of them. I will take steps to see if your question can be answered and any discrepancy resolved. If, however, after such efforts a discrepancy remains, I emphasize that you must rely only upon the official English interpretation as provided by the court interpreter and disregard any other contrary interpretation. And we have our interpreter present. Please state your name for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ryan Winston, certified in Spanish court of the
Okay.
record.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to translate to the best of your ability from English to Spanish and Spanish to English?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, very good. Call your next witness.
The state would call Pablo Gabbor, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Mr. Gabbor is also on our list for instruction, Your Honor, to the media.
Pardon me?
Mr. Gabbor is also on our list for instruction to the media as well.
Okay, and this will be another witness whose identity shall not be broadcast.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may proceed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, señor. Good afternoon.
Would you tell us your name, please?
¿Nos diría su nombre, por favor?
Pablo Gabbor.
Pablo Gabbor.
And do you work or live here in the Tampa area?
¿Y trabajo, vive usted aquí en el área de Tampa?
No, yo vivo en Ocala.
No, I live in Ocala.
And what is it that you do for work?
¿Y a qué se dedica como trabajo?
Soy técnico en irrigación.
I'm an irrigation technician.
Were you in Tampa in June of 2024, specifically on the 23rd of June?
¿Estuvo usted en Tampa en junio del 2024, específicamente el día 23 de junio?
Sí.
Yes.
Why were you here?
¿Para qué estaba aquí?
De vacaciones con mi familia.
I was on vacation with my family.
What type of a vacation was that? What were you doing?
¿Qué clase de vacaciones era? ¿Qué estaban haciendo?
Vinimos de visita al zoológico.
We came to visit the zoo.
Who all is included in your family when you tell me you came here with your family? Who was with you?
¿Quién está incluido en su familia cuando usted me dice que vino con la familia? ¿Quién estaba con usted?
Mi esposa, mi hijo y mi hija.
My wife, my son, and my daughter.
Were you staying in a hotel room and sleeping on the early morning hours of June 23rd of 2024 with those family members?
Estaba quedándose usted en el hotel y durmiendo en las altas horas de la mañana del 23 de junio del 23 de junio.
Sí, es así. Estoy hospedado en un hotel.
Yes, we were staying at a hotel.
How old are the children that were present with you?
¿Qué edad tenían los hijos que estaban presentes con usted?
Mi hijo tiene ahorita 13 años y 12 años, perdón, y la niña 8. En ese tiempo tenían 10 y 6, si no me equivoco.
They are 8 and 12 now. At that time, I believe they were 10 and 6, if I am not incorrect, if I'm not mistaken.
And what were the sleeping arrangements inside of the hotel room?
¿Y cómo eran los arreglos de las acomodaciones para dormir dentro del hotel, del cuarto?
Era una habitación familiar, eran dos camas y estaba acostado yo con mi hijo y mi esposa con mi hija.
It was a room with a family style room with 2 beds. I was laying with my son and my wife was laying with my daughter.
And did anything happen that awoken you that night or that early morning?
Y algo
On the
pasó
23rd.
que lo despertó en las altas horas de esa mañana.
Sí, a las 4 o 5 de la mañana escuchamos un ruido bastante fuerte que nos asustó demasiado.
Yes, at 4 or 5 a.m. we heard a sound that was quite loud, noises that were quite loud, and that scared us.
And was it only that one noise that scared you, or was there more than one noise?
¿Y era solamente ese ruido que lo asustó o era más que un solo ruido?
Fue un ruido que parecía ser lo primero que pensé que fue una bomba o algo así porque fue demasiado fuerte.
It was a sound that was, at first I thought it was a bomb because it was such a loud, strong sound.
And what about it made you think that it was a bomb? Just because it was of the volume of it?
¿Y qué aspecto de eso lo hizo pensar que ser una bomba? Solamente por lo alto que era, lo fuerte que era.
Fue lo fuerte y lo muy cercano porque lo sentí cerca.
It was how strong or loud it was and how close it was because I heard it to be close.
Once you heard that sound, what happened next that you recall?
En cuanto usted escuchó ese sonido, luego ¿qué pasó? ¿A qué se fue?
Nos asustamos demasiado, mis hijos empezaron a llorar.
We got very frightened. My children began to cry.
Yo lo que hice fue agarrar a mi hijo, acostarlo al piso.
I grabbed my son and laid him down on the floor.
Mi esposa agarró a mi hija y también la puso al piso.
My wife grabbed my daughter and also put her down on the floor.
Tratamos de calmarlos porque estábamos todos muy nerviosos.
We tried to calm them down because we were all very nervous.
No sabíamos lo que estaba pasando.
We didn't know what was happening.
But the sound was of the nature that it made you in fear for your family's safety.
Pero era una clase o la naturaleza del sonido lo hizo usted temer por la seguridad de su familia.
Sí, porque se escuchó después que estábamos en eso, escuchamos mucho ruido en la parte exterior del hotel.
Yes, because afterwards, and we heard lots of noises outside of the hotel.
What kind of noises outside of the hotel
¿Qué clase de
afterwards?
ruidos fuera del hotel?
Gritos y después sirenas de la policía.
Screams and later on sirens from the police.
Can I take you back to when you first heard the noise and you were all getting down? Could you hear what your wife or children were saying?
Volvemos al momento que al principio escucharon el sonido y todos estaban bajando al piso. ¿Podía usted escuchar lo que su esposa y sus hijos estaban diciendo?
Mis hijos lloraban. Mi esposa después ella se quejó de un dolor en su pierna.
My children were crying, and later on my wife complained of a pain in her leg.
Pero no entendíamos por qué tenía ese dolor y después yo observé la pierna de ella.
But we didn't understand why she had that pain, and after that I observed her leg.
Y tenía una quemadura en su pierna.
She had a burn on her leg.
How did you know it was a burn? What did you see on her leg that led you to think that?
¿Cómo sabía que era una quemadura? ¿Qué vio usted? ¿Qué observó en la pierna de ella que lo llevó a pensar eso?
Estaba roja la pierna de ella, tenía un punto rojo en su pierna.
It was red. There was a red spot on her leg.
Y le ardía mucho.
And it burned very much.
Then after that, did your son complain of any pain?
Y después de eso, ¿su hijo se quejó de algún dolor?
Él no se quejó de dolor, él solo estaba temblando y con mucho miedo.
He didn't complain of pain. He was just trembling and was very afraid.
Is there a time that you are all laying there when you actually find something that you believe has some kind of value to turn into the police?
Y llega algún momento que están ustedes todos recostados ahí, que usted encuentra algo que le parece que tiene algún valor para entregárselo a la policía.
Sí, después que ya vimos que estaba la policía, que sentimos que estaba la policía, mi hijo vio en la cama de mi esposa.
Yes, after we heard that the police was there, my son saw on my wife's bed.
Había algo que se había quemado cobertor.
There was something that had burned the comforter.
Y él encontró tocó en el piso y encontró un pequeño pedazo de metal.
And he touched on the floor and he found a small piece of metal.
Y asumimos que eso golpeó a mi esposa en la pierna.
And we suppose that hit my wife on her leg.
When you could hear the sirens outside, could you see the police?
Y cuando usted pudo escuchar las sirenas afuera, ¿podía ver a la policía?
Veía a oficiales que caminaban por todo lado del otro hotel.
I saw officers who were walking all around the other hotel.
Did you feel safe for you or your family to leave your room that evening?
¿Usted se sentía seguro para usted o su familia salir de su cuarto esa tarde?
No, no quise salir porque al principio no sabía si eso estaba pasando en el hotel donde yo estaba o dónde estaba pasando, no.
I didn't want to go out because at first I didn't know that if that was happening in the hotel where I was staying or in the other hotel. I just didn't know.
What did you do with what you found inside of the room?
¿Y qué hizo usted con lo que encontró dentro del cuarto?
Al día siguiente me acerqué a la administración del hotel porque nos habíamos quedado sin aire acondicionado y entregué ese metal.
The following day, I approached the administration of the hotel because we had been left without air conditioning, and I handed over that piece of metal.
Did you have any information or idea about whether the loud noise that you heard and the lack of air conditioning were linked in some way?
¿Tiene usted alguna información o idea sobre si el pedacito el sonido que había escuchado y la falta de aire eran relacionados de alguna forma?
No puedo yo relacionar eso que haya sido, pero justamente cuando ya nos quedamos sin aire es porque pasó eso.
No, I can't relate the two things, but just at the moment when we were left without AC is when that happened.
And did you ultimately have an opportunity to provide a statement to the police about what happened?
Y al fin y al cabo tuvo usted la oportunidad de hacer una declaración a la policía sobre qué había pasado.
La policía se contactó conmigo cuando yo estaba de regreso a casa, a Ocala.
The police got in touch with me when I was back at my house in Ocala.
So you had provided the metal that you found and your contact information when you all checked out.
Entonces usted le había suplido o proporcionado el metal que encontró y sus datos de contacto ya cuando ustedes salieron, se abandonaron el hotel.
El pedazo de metal lo dejé en la administración del hotel y ahí quedaron mis datos. ahí quedaron mis contactos.
I left the piece of metal with the administration of the hotel and my contact information also.
I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Gonzalez?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petrides? All right, may this witness be excused? Mrs. Murr, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize.
All right, thank
Okay.
you, sir. You're free to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
And is that it for the interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go too. All right, have a good day. All right, who's your next witness?
Aliyah Albritton?
And is this another witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and again, this is another witness who does not wish to have their identity broadcast.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay, you may proceed.
Please state your full name for the record.
Aliyah Albritton,
Ms. Albritton, how old are you?
22,
What city do you live in?
Jacksonville,
How long have you lived in Jacksonville?
my whole life.
Do you know somebody by the name of Tafa McCray?
Yes,
How do you know Tafa McCray?
he's my friend.
Do you also know a person by the name of Camila Bentley?
Yes,
How long have you known Miss Bentley?
a few years.
I'm going to ask you about June 23rd of 2024 and the weekend leading up to that day, that Saturday. Did you have plans to come to Tampa on that weekend?
Yes,
Who did you come to Tampa with?
Taifa
Tafa McCray?
and Camila.
Who was the driver?
Taifa,
Did you come in his car?
yes.
And what day did you come to Tampa?
I think on a Friday.
The Friday of that weekend?
Yeah.
Where did you all go?
To Airbnb.
Who was at the Airbnb?
Taifa and his cousins.
And when you say his cousins, are you referring to Charles Jones?
Yes,
Did you know Charles Jones?
yes,
Did you know who he was?
yes,
Did you know that he was a rapper in Jacksonville?
yeah,
He goes by Foolio.
yeah.
Were you close friends with Charles Jones?
No,
Were you at that Airbnb that weekend because you are good friends with Tafa McCray?
yeah,
And were you the one that then invited Camila Bentley to come along?
yes,
Now I want to go to the Saturday, June 23rd of 2024. Did you all go to a different Airbnb?
yes,
Was there going to be a party to celebrate Charles Jones's birthday?
yes,
Were there a lot more people at the party than who had been at the first Airbnb?
yeah,
Did you know Charles Jones' girlfriend at the time?
no,
Did you know, even though you didn't know her, was there a girl that was there that night that was his girlfriend?
yes.
When you all went to a club, who did you go to the club with?
Everybody that was there.
How many vehicles ended up going to the second club?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Whose vehicle were you in?
Taifa's.
Is that the same vehicle that you were in all night?
Yeah.
And were the same people with you all night?
Mhm.
Had you been drinking that night during the birthday celebration?
Yeah.
Had you been drinking at the clubs that you were at?
Yep.
How would you say that you were after the second club?
I was drunk.
Do you still remember that night, ma'am?
Yes.
After the second club, where did the group go? All of the people that you were hanging out with?
After the second club?
Yes.
On the second day?
Yes, the Saturday.
To a hotel.
Why were you guys going to the hotel?
To find somewhere to stay.
Were you familiar with Tampa and the location of the hotel?
No.
And when you got to the hotel, what happened once you got there?
I went to use the bathroom.
Did anyone go with you?
Taifa.
And was Camila Bentley, she left alone in the car?
Yeah.
Right. What happened when you were using the restroom?
I heard stuff outside.
What specifically did you
like
hear?
Boom sounds.
And when you heard those boom sounds, what did you do?
I went by the front desk in the hotel.
Did you go outside at that point?
No.
Did you see Typha McCrae?
Mm-hmm.
Did he meet up with you at that lobby area?
Yes.
How many times did you hear those boom sounds?
Like 2 different times.
Two separate.
I'm sorry, Joanna, I couldn't hear who it is.
Could you say it a little bit? Can you move up to the microphone?
Like it started and it stopped and it started again.
So there was kind of like a brief pause in between the shooting. Is that correct?
Yes.
At some point, does Mr. McCrae, does he go out to look to see where any of the vehicles are?
Yeah.
Can you see, were there glass doors that led out to the parking lot that separated the parking lot and the lobby?
Yes.
From that position inside the hotel, could you see whether or not your friend Camila Bentley and Taifa McCrae's car was still out there?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was gone?
Mm-hmm.
And what about all the other cars?
All the cars were gone.
At some point, did you receive a phone call?
I called Camila.
You called Camila
Yeah.
Bentley. And did you, after that conversation, did Camila Bentley come back to the hotel?
Yeah.
What happened after she came back in Taifa McCrae's car?
We took her to the hospital.
When you got to the hospital, did you stay there with her or did you do something else?
No, I left.
Why did you leave?
Because I didn't want to come in contact with any police officers.
And why did you not want to come into contact with police officers?
Because I was on probation. I wasn't supposed to be there.
So did you leave in Taifa McCrae's car?
Yeah.
Did Mr. McCrae, did he stay there with Aliyah, your friend, while she was getting treatment?
Camila, but yeah, he did.
I'm sorry, Camila Bentley, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you take the car?
To some apartments. I don't really know what they're called. I don't even know where they're at.
Did you call Mr. McCrae to let him know where the car was?
Yes, I spoke to him. Well, I didn't call him and tell him. He called me and told me that the police were looking for the car. So I told him where the car was.
You communicated that to him?
Yes.
And were you still at the location with the car at the apartments when the police got there to look at the car?
Yes, I came back there with Typha.
At some point, did one of Mr. McCrae's, Taifa McCrae's friends come to pick you up?
Yes, when I dropped the car off.
Did you at some point go back to the hotel where the shooting occurred?
Yes.
Do you know when you went back there, approximately what time it was?
Mm-mm. It was daytime.
It was daylight
early.
at that
Yeah.
point?
Mhm.
Okay. And were there others from the party that were still at that location?
Yes.
And you could see them?
Yeah.
When you heard the booms and the shots occur at the hotel, did you see anybody with any firearms?
No.
At some point, did a homicide detective Ramos with the Tampa Police Department call you and communicate with you after you had left back to Jacksonville?
Yes.
while you were in Tampa, did you talk to any law enforcement officers?
No.
And again, that was because you were concerned of probation?
Yeah, I didn't get permission to go out there, so I didn't.
Now, I know that you said that you knew Charles Jones, but you were not friends with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
But you were familiar with all of the drill rap that he had done. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were also familiar with kind of the rival group, Young and Ace. Is that correct? In fact, you knew Kenyatta Bullard. Is that correct?
Keontae, yes.
Keontae Bullard. Thank you for correcting me. And he is known as Young and Ace.
Yeah.
Did you date his younger brother?
Yes.
And what was his name?
Trayvon.
And when did that occur?
2018.
So quite a while before. Is that all of this?
Yeah.
And so you know people on both sides. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time we pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Ms. Albritton.
Good afternoon.
So if I understand this, it dawned on you at the time that all of this occurred that because there was going to be an investigation, you didn't want to have to give your name to the police, correct?
I didn't mind giving my name to the police.
Okay, well.
But at that moment in time, no, I didn't want to run into no police officers, no.
Correct, because you were fearful that somehow that would get back to probation in Duval
Correct.
County.
Yes.
And that could create a problem for you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did that in fact occur?
Did I get in trouble?
Yeah, did they find out? Probation find
They
out?
found out eventually. No, I didn't get in trouble.
Okay, they didn't violate your probation
No.
for leaving the county without permission?
No, they didn't.
And when you left, you put the car in an apartment complex close to the hospital, correct?
Yeah, I just went to the nearest apartments I seen, houses I seen.
And Mr. McCray, Tata, right? That's his name, Tata? I'm an old man, but when you have some type of relationship with someone, do you call it talking? When you're talking with someone?
Yeah, you can call it that.
And just so we're clear, when you called Mr. McCray your friend, he was a little bit more than a friend, like someone you would just hang out and go get a drink with or be a friend from school, correct? Can we both agree in that respect?
I guess.
Well, let me ask you, if you don't mind, were you more than just friends with Mr. McCray?
Do I have to answer that?
Well, yes. So was it more than just a platonic
I guess,
friendship?
yes.
And nothing else necessary. He assisted you by contacting someone to come pick you up after you had dumped that car, correct?
Yes.
And then you hung out for some hours, I assume, to kind of let things calm down. Would that be fair?
I rode out there with him. I didn't have a ride back. I had to get a ride back home. So I waited on him.
Understood.
And his mom came, yes, and I rode back with him and his mom.
So the goal at the end of the day was to get back to a point where you could get back to Jacksonville.
Correct.
But in the meantime,
well, it was to get back with Taifa, period. But
Right.
I didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to do none of that.
right. And as you waited for that time period, you knew that there was probably an investigation going on because you heard all those shots, correct?
Yeah, I knew it was.
And the people that you were with during this time period when you were hiding out, you didn't know them, correct? They were just people that you were put in touch with to be able to
I
have
didn't know the person that picked me up. No, I didn't know him. I knew of him, but I don't know him. No.
And when you went back to the hotel and the scene, was that because you thought Taifa would be there, or were you already in
No,
communication?
he wanted to.
Ma'am,
He
please,
went.
if you don't mind.
Yes. And so Because the court reporter's taking down everything that's being said, if you could please let Mr. Gonzalez just finish asking his question before you start answering.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a habit of doing it myself. So you were in communication with Mr. McCray, Tata, right?
Yes.
And did you know that he was going back to that scene? Is that why you went there?
No, he wasn't at the scene. I went back at the scene because the person I was in the car with went there to check on, I think, Monty. Because I seen Monty and I don't remember who else, but I seen Monty when I came there.
Armani Turner.
Yes.
Okay. Who you know fairly well, correct?
I don't know her.
You don't. Okay. So you just met her that weekend?
I guess I didn't even meet her then.
Okay. But you went back to check on her.
I was just in the car.
Okay. The guy that you were with was going to check on her. Okay. And you didn't stay there very long, correct?
No. Probably like 25 minutes.
Probably for the same reason, because you didn't want to be in a position where police might come up to you and ask you who you were or what you knew.
I mean, yeah, he was the driver though. He left. It was up to him. I didn't really care.
Okay. So you were at this party for the weekend. There were several members of 6 Block there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, Tata is 6 Block. Correct?
I guess.
Well, you know enough about this to know. Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you had also dated, as you stated to the state in your direct examination, Quan in the past, some years ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people in 6 Block knew that you used to date somebody from another opposition group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They all knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Said it, yes.
Yes, they knew.
And that wasn't an issue, or else you wouldn't have been there, correct?
No, it wasn't an issue.
No one gave you any problem over that, correct?
No.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sonardi, any questions?
Very briefly.
Your Honor, can I ask one more question?
Yes.
You don't know Rashad Murphy, do you?
No, I don't know.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Albritton.
Hey, good afternoon.
Do you know who Kenny Capps is?
Yes, Robert.
I'm sorry?
His name is Robert.
Robert
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
And was he one of the ones at some point in time you rode in the car with this evening when all this went down?
I don't think I rode him at all in the car when I was down there.
Do you recall there was a point in time when Kenny Capps or Robert Howard refused to ride in the car with Charles Jones, Foolio? You remember that?
Yes, I heard something about that.
You do recall that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I have no further questions. Oh, one other further. Do you know a Davion Murphy?
No.
Thank you. No further questions, sir.
Okay, Ms. Finkelstein?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name's Jenna Finkelstein. I represent Sean Gathright. Do you know Mr. Gathright?
No.
Before this incident, we'll say, have you ever heard that name before?
No, never seen him before.
Okay, and you did testify a few minutes ago that you're familiar with people that associate with 6 Block and opposition groups, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Sean Gathright was not known to you in either of those situations?
No, I don't know him.
And just one more question, ma'am. With the people that you were with here in Tampa, did anybody that was with you or in your group go by the name of Fat Boy? A
No.
nickname?
No. Somebody with me?
Yeah.
That came with me?
Right.
No, I don't think so. No.
Nobody that you had a nickname that you know of, right? Okay, thank you, ma'am. No further questions.
Okay, Mr. Petridis?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You mentioned Mr. McCrae's friend.
Sorry.
You're fine. Do you need water?
Please, if I can get some.
Deputy will get.
I shouldn't have offered before I knew where it was.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, thank you. You said Mr. McCrae's friend picked you up from the apartment complex?
Yes.
Is that someone named Mizzle, Mr. Taylor?
Say it one more time.
Is that someone goes by the name of Mizzle, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, that I went with him, but that's not who picked me up. No, I don't know the name of the boy that picked me up.
Was a Mizzle there with you that weekend?
Yes.
Was he with everyone?
Yeah, he came to the clubs and stuff, and I think he came to the B&B, but he didn't come there like with us.
So he stayed somewhere else?
Yeah.
Did he have his own car?
Yes.
Do you know what car he had?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember, no.
And what about Robert Howard? Did he go to the clubs with you all?
Yeah.
Did he have his own car?
No, I think he rode with Charles.
And when before the shooting happened, you didn't see anything, correct? Out of the
No.
ordinary?
Mm-mm.
Were you able to hear the shooting when you were inside the bathroom?
No, I didn't hear it till I walked out the bathroom. The bathroom was in a hallway, so I didn't really hear it till I got out the hallway.
I think you even took a selfie in the bathroom and posted it. Is that correct?
I didn't post it, but I do have pictures in the bathroom, yes.
I believe that's all I have here. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Redirect?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor. Miss Albritton, when you were on probation, you never asked anyone from my office to intercede on your behalf. Is that correct?
As in what?
You were not violated for your probation. Is that correct?
No.
But that had nothing to do with this state attorney's office or my office. Is that correct?
No.
We never did anything on your behalf. That's what I'm asking.
Like towards my probation?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
And then going back to the party and the Airbnb that you were at before going to the clubs, there were lots of people there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Lots of people from Jacksonville?
At the B&B?
Yes, at the party.
Yeah.
And there were people that followed the birthday celebration to the clubs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Some of them.
Some of them, yes.
But at the hotel, there were only 3 vehicles. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay, this witness be excused.
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. Okay, State, who's your next witness?
Local Officer Janice Hansis, Your Honor.
Okay.